Good morning to all. I am Chandra Kala from the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Today we are going to discuss about the topic exception handling in Java. First of all, what is exception? The exception is an abnormal conditions, that is unwanted or unexpected event which occurs during the executions of the program, which means the normal flow of program can be executed, some interruptions can be occurs. These exceptions can be caught and it will be handled by the program. When the exceptions occurs within the method, we can create an object. This object is called as exception object. This object include the information about the name and descriptions of the exceptions and the state of the program when the exception is occurs. Next, see hierarchy of Java exception classes. Here, the drawable is the parent class and then exceptions and error is the child classes. The exceptions is categorized into the IO exception, SQL exceptions, class not found exceptions, then runtime exception. This runtime exceptions will be categorized into arithmetic, null pointer, number format exceptions, and index out of bounds exceptions. The index out of bounds exceptions can be categorized into two types: array index out of bounds. Another one is string index out of bounds exceptions. Then error. Error is also known as unchecked exceptions like stack overflow error and virtual machine error, out of memory error. Next one is types of Java exceptions. There are two types of Java exceptions. One is checked, another one is unchecked exception. Error is also considered as the unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions are called compile time exceptions because these exceptions are checked at the compile time. Then it will be directly ensured by the programmer whether it will be handled the exceptions or not. The programmer should have to handle the exceptions, otherwise the system has shown the compilation error. For example, SQL exceptions and then IO exceptions are checked exceptions. The another one type of exception is unchecked exceptions. The classes that directly inherited from the runtime exceptions are known as the unchecked exceptions. For example, arithmetic exceptions, null pointer exceptions, array index out of bounds exception. These are the unchecked exceptions, where these exceptions are not checked at the compile time, but they are checked at the runtime. This information will be informed to the users. Error and then error is irrecoverable. For example of errors are out of memory errors, virtual machine errors, system index out of bounds errors. These are the examples of the errors. Next one. Next one is Java exception keywords. The exception handling in Java, there are 5 keywords are used. One is try, catch, finally, throw, and then throws. First of all, what is try? The try is a keyword. It is used to specify the error exceptions in the try block. It means you cannot use the try block alone. It will be followed by the catch block or finally block. Then next keyword is catch. This block is used to handle the exceptions. Must be preceded by the try block. Whatever the error is to be placed in the try block, it will be caught in the catch block. Then finally, the finally block is a keyword in the Java exception. It will be used to execute the necessary code of the program. It will be executed whether the exception is handled or not. The finally block will be executed. Then throw. Throw is a keyword. It will be used to throw on exceptions. Whatever the exceptions will be happen, it will be throw in the throw block. Then throws. The throws keyword is used to declare the exceptions. Then what are the difference between throw and throws? The throw on exceptions, and then throws, it will be declare whatever the exceptions will be occur in the exception block. Okay. That is the difference between throw and throws. Throws means you have to throw the exceptions. It will be intimated to the users. Throws means have to declare on exceptions. Whatever it will be may occur in the exceptions in the method. Does not throw on exceptions. It always used in the method signatures. That is the difference between throw and throws. Next one is Next, we discuss about the try-catch example. First one is public class name. Here, public is a access specifier class, then class name is Java exception example. Whatever the program can be begin in the main program main. So here, we have to place the exceptions in the try block. What are the conditions? So try block is whatever the exceptions can be placed in the try block. This will be intimated to the user whatever the exceptions can be occurred in the try block. These informations can be called by the catch block. So syntax of the catch block and the try block is try block. You have to place the exceptions in the try block. Whatever the exceptions happen in the try block, whatever the exceptions happen, it will be placed in the try block, right? So first one is you have to initialize a value. For example, integer data is a integer is a data type. If you know that, then data is a variable. Then you have to initialize a value like 100 by 0. Whatever it is, any number by 0, whatever the error will be occur in this arithmetic exceptions, right? So it will be caught by the catch block. So in this, the catch block specify the exception class name is like arithmetic exceptions. Then object name is E. Okay. Then you have to print the statement system.out.println. You have to include the object name is, you have to refer the object. So you have to include the object name is E. Then finally, the remaining code will be executed. So first thing is, you have to the try block, whatever exceptions, it should be placed in the try block. This exceptions is called by the catch block in the with the name of the exception class name and then reference object, right? So this is an example of try and catch block. Next example of try catch exception is first you have to specify the class name, then you have to specify the access specifier. Public is the access specifier. What are the main advantages of this? You have to access the program in anywhere, and so that you have to access the class name in anywhere, so that we have to specify the access specifier like public, then class name is user defining. Here the try catch example is a class name. Then every program can be begin in the main. So whatever it is, you have to place the exceptions in the try block, right? First, the try is a keywords. You have to initialize the array values. For example, 1357, you have to initialize the 4 values, but you have to find out the 10th position values. So you have to throw the exceptions in this try block. So this exceptions is handled in the catch block. Whatever the exceptions may be happen, it will be intimated to the users, right? So first of all, whatever the exceptions occur, it will be placed the exceptions in the try block will be caught by the catch block, right? So catch, whatever the what are the exceptions is that occurs in this. So array index out of bounds exceptions. The E is a reference object. The array index out of bounds exception is a exception class name. Then the reference object is E. So it will be printed like a system.out.println is E. Then the rest of the code will be executed. Next keyword is Java throw keywords. This Java throw keywords is used to throw on exceptions. Here, throw is a keyword that is used to throw the exceptions explicitly. That is the main thing. Then the syntax of the throw keyword is throw instance. You have to create an instance object. So the throw new exception class, you have to whatever the exceptions it will be displayed in the error messages. For example, throw is a keyword, new is a keyword, then exception class name like array index, out of bounds exceptions, then null pointer exceptions. These are the exception classes, right? So the examples of throw IO exception is, sorry, the device's errors. Here, the throw is a keyword, new is a keyword, IO exception is a exception classes. You can throw either the checked or unchecked exceptions in Java by using the throw keyword explicitly. So what are the difference between throw and then throws? Throw, you have to throw on exceptions explicitly. It will be informed to the users. Then throws, so declare the exceptions. That are the main difference between throw and then throws. This is the example program for check if the person is eligible to vote or not. Every program can begin in the main. First, you have to main public static void main of string arguments. What are the string arguments? All the arguments, all the values can be stored in the array format in the string, right? So then you had to call the functions here validate of 13. So you had to validate method directly invoke to the validate method. So write public static void validate of integer age, right? So integer is a data type. You have to declare the variable as age. If you have to check if the age is less than 18, it will be the person is not eligible to vote. To explicit, what are the main advantages of using throw keyword? Have to throw an exception is explicitly and it will be informed to the users, right? So throw is a keyword, the new is a keyword, the exception class name is arithmetic exceptions. You have to display the messages person is not eligible to vote. You have to check the conditions. If it is not age is less than or 18, else condition else statement will be just like so system.out.println and here have to validate of 13, so the 13 age is 13, so the have to display the messages the person is not eligible to vote, right? So what are the main advantages of using the throw keyword is to explicitly throw the exceptions. You have to throw on exceptions explicitly inform to the users. That are the main advantages of using the throw keyword. In this program, you have to check the person is eligible to vote or not. Using the validate of 13, so it is not eligible to vote. So you have to throw the exception. The person is not eligible to vote. This is the output. Right. Next, we move on to next slide. Java throws keyword. So already I explained what are the main difference between throw and throws. Throw, and the difference between throw and throws is throw you have to directly throw on exceptions explicitly informed to the users. Throws you have to declare the exceptions. That are the main difference between the throw and throws. So here the Java throws keyword is mainly used to declare on exceptions. It gives an information to the programmer that may occur exceptions. That is the main advantages of using the throws keyword. So throws keyword is mainly used to declare on exceptions. So if it is better for the programmer, it mainly to provide the exception handling code so that the normal flow of the program can be maintained. The exception handling is mainly used to handle the checked exceptions. If there are occurs and any unchecked exceptions such as null pointer exceptions, if it is a programmer, any fault can be occurred in the program, it will be not checking in the code before it will be using. So what are the syntax of the Java throws keyword is return type, method name and throws the exception class name. So whatever the code can be placed in the method code, right? This is the examples of using the keyword throws exceptions. So every program can begin in the main. First, you have to create an instance for the particular class. In this example, the class name is test throws 1. So first you have to create an instance for the particular class. Test throws 1. The object is an instance. Object name is object obj. So here the new is a keyword. After that, you have to the same class name here. So test throws 1 off. Then object dot p off. So p off method, it will be directly invoked to void p off. Then this, you have to place the exceptions in the try block. So whatever the try block, it will be called the end of method. So what is the end of method? After that, you have to, what is the end of method? So end of method, so void end of, you have to throw IO exception. So here, call the method m of. So what is the m of method? So m of void m of you have to throw IO exceptions by using the keyword throw. So what is throw keyword? You have to throw an exception explicitly. It will be directly informed to the user explicit. That is the users of the using the keyword throw. So here the throw new IO exceptions. And this you have to display the error message like a device error. This is a check the exceptions. After that you have to the whatever the error it will be caught by the catch block. But in this have to using the throws keyword. What is the main advantages of using the throws keyword? It will be declare the exception statements. Whatever the exception statement, it will be directly declared in the throw block by using the throw new IO exceptions, the device error. This is called the checked exception. This exceptions will be caught by the catch block. What is it? Though it will be displayed exception handled. So what are the output of this program is the exception is handled, the device error is occurs. So the device error will be displayed in the output, then the exception handled. So this is the examples of using the keyword throw. So main the difference between throw and then throws is throw it will be throw is a keyword that is throw on exceptions explicitly. So what are the uses of throws? Throws is declare the statement of exceptions. That is a main difference between throw and throws. So this is the examples of using the keyword throws exceptions. So the next one is Java finally block. This is the exception handling keyword. So finally block must be executed whether the exception is handled or not. The Java finally block is a block that is used to execute the important information code of the program, such as the closing the connections. Java finally block is always executed. Therefore, it contains all the necessary information such as need to be printed regardless of the exceptions occurs or not. The main advantages of using the finally block, the important information will be executed whether the exception is handled or not. The finally block follows the try catch block. It will be used in the Java program. The just had to main advantages of using the Java finally block is just clean up the code, just such as closing a file, close the connections. That's the important thing of using the finally block. So that the important statements will be printed, it will be placed in the finally block. Whatever the important information is must be executed, it will be placed in the finally block whether the exception is handled or not. This is the main advantages of using the finally block. This is an example of using the Java finally blocker. So already know that whatever the program can begin in the main block, so we have to place the exceptions in the try. So here the try is a keyword, the exception keyword. Have to place the exceptions. The exceptions arithmetic exceptions. Have to place the arithmetic exceptions like integer data equal to 25 by 0. That is arithmetic exceptions. It will be placed in the try block. These exceptions can be caught by the catch block. But in this, have to place the exception as null pointer exceptions. But the original exception is arithmetic exceptions. So that what are the advantages of using the finally block? Whether the exception is handled or not, have to display the finally block. You have to must be executed in the finally block whether the exception is handled or not. This is the main advantages of using the finally block. In this example, you have to place the exceptions in the try block is arithmetic exception, but it will be caught by the catch block as null pointer exceptions. Whatever it is, the finally block must be executed whether the exception is handled or not. This is an example program of Java finally block. In this, the output is will be displayed in the finally block. Whatever the statement is written in the finally block, it will be executed. So here the output of this program is finally block is always executed because what are the uses of using the keyword finally is the exception is handled or not, the finally block must be executed. That are the main advantages of using the finally block so that the try block is placed, the exception is arithmetic exceptions, but it will be caught by the catch block as null pointer exceptions. So here is a mismatch of using these two exceptions so that you have to execute the finally block. What is the finally block? The finally block is always executed, written in the system that out that println and statements so that the rest of the code will be executed in the system.out.println. So rest of the code, what are the output of this program is finally block is always executed. Then the rest of the code, that is the output of this program. That is a Java finally block. So we had to main advantage. So we had to analyze this program whether the exception is handled or not. The finally block will be executed. So the next one is the advantages of using the exception handling is to separate the error handling code from the regular code, grouping and differentiating error types. It is mainly used to maintain the normal flow of applications and meaningful error reporting. And last one is identify the errors into simplicity, flexibility, and then consistency. Thank you.